very special. But let us move on and see
I
whether...
think the people of London appreciated it
of course
and they noticed it.
Everybody appreciates when crime falls. But did we get the
And
measure of... No, by the way. No.
No?
You will follow the questions I want to ask, not the ones you want to be asked. Did we get the measure of the man this week? You, our ambassador in America, Kim Darroch, he found himself at the centre of a storm. He couldn't count on your support.
That's not true at all.
He decided he had to resign. Why didn't you stand up for our man in Washington?
On the contrary, I stood up completely for the principle that civil servants should be allowed to say what they want to their political masters without fear or favour.
You were asked 4 times in the ITV debate to offer him your support.
I thought it was...
Why did you not offer him your support?
I support the principle that all civil servants should be able to say what they want to their political masters without fear of fear. And the real culprits...
Why did you not offer him your support?
The real culprits in this are the people who leaked that material.
You see, you're doing what you've done throughout this campaign. No, you can't.
Well, no, because you're making a false assertion.
You're doing what you've done throughout this campaign. You get asked a question, and then you go on to something else, which is a sideline to the actual issue. What I'm asking you is that when you were asked 4 times in the ITV debate to support our man in Washington, you did not do so. After watching it, he was so dismayed by your failure to do so, it was one of the reasons he resigned.
Actually, I spoke to him the following day and said how sad I was that he had resigned, and he pointed out that he didn't watch it. So you might need to check your facts, Andrew, before you make
He didn't say to you that what you had said.
He told me that he had not watched the show.
He didn't. So, well, I'm told that he watched it with his wife.
Well, I've just spoken. I spoke to him 2 days ago, and he said he had not watched it. Did he say
that you played any part in his resignation?
Well, my view is that it was very sad that he resigned, and what he said was that somebody had relayed to him what I had said.
And did it play a factor in his resignation?
He said that what somebody had relayed to him had certainly been a factor in his resignation. So
your lack of support for him was a factor in his resignation?
I think that, unfortunately, what I said on that TV debate was misrepresented to Kim. And
the Foreign Secretary has told us on this programme that it was a factor.
I don't think that it was right, if I may say so. I don't think that it was right that his career should have been put into the public domain in the way that it was, and that the career prospects of Sir Kim Darroch, who is an estimable public servant, a great diplomat, should have become a political football.
Right.
And I think that was a great shame.
But that is not the issue that I'm asking you. Jeremy Hunt sat in that chair just very shortly, and he said on this programme that you were a factor in his resignation. Kim Darroch is saying that. Do you accept that?
Well, as I say, I think that I did everything I could to show that I deplore the leaking of confidential briefings.
We know that. That's not my question,
this is a question that you must direct to others.
My question is, it's to you because it's your responsibility. Do you accept that your failure to support him tipped him into resignation?
No,
the Foreign Secretary is saying that?
I don't accept that, no.
Mr. Darroch is saying that?
No, I don't accept that, because I think that, no. I think that if people want to, again, to turn this into a political football, that's most unfortunate. It is very, very important that we...
But you used it as a political football against Jeremy Hunt. You started to ask him in the ITV debate, well, how long will you back him? Will it be after Christmas? Will it be January? Will it be February? You used it as a way to avoid answering your own question.
That was because the career prospects of a distinguished public servant had been dragged into the political debate in a way that I thought was wrong. It's the job of politicians to stick up for civil servants and to support them.
And you didn't.
In their listen, I think that it was. I rang Kim the following morning. I was very surprised that he resigned.
The president
and I thought it was
called him
wrong.
Wacky, pompous, a fool, stupid. You didn't have a word of criticism of the president.
Well, I'm on record as saying plenty of critical things of the president in the past.
And people worry, will you be as craven if you were Prime Minister?
I've been, towards the United States of America, craven.
Towards anybody who's powerful in the world.
Don't be ridiculous, if I may say so. When it comes to sticking up for UK interests, whether it's over climate change or over disputes with Iran, over the Iran nuclear deal, we have been very, very forthright with the United States of America, and I will continue to be forthright. And by the way, Andrew, you may have forgotten that when the President of the United States saw fit to insult London. And actually, he, rather like you, he deprecated the achievement of Londoners in reducing crime and said that London
You
was
said
not
he
a
was
safe place.
stupefyingly ignorant.
London was not a safe
and
place.
unfit to hold office.
I fired back, as you would expect.
Yeah, but
and that is what I did.
using that
But
kind of language?
I don't think it is. My point about Kim was I thought it was most unfortunate.
Is he still stupefyingly
I thought it
ignorant?
was most unfortunate
Is he still
that Kim's
stupefyingly
career was dragged into the
ignorant?
public domain.
Is he still stupefyingly ignorant?
Of what?
Mr. Trump.
Well, rather like you, he seems to think that London, we didn't achieve as much as I thought we achieved
You're not going to
in
answer,
reducing crime.
This has been the theme of your campaign. I want to come back to why, when our ambassador was in the front line, in the crosshairs, you did not stand up for him.
Because
That's
I
what
thought
worries
it was
people.
totally wrong to drag into the public domain the career prospects of a senior official and to turn that into a political football. And I thought
he just needed your support.
I thought what was necessary was to give a general statement of support for the right of, and the duty and the ability of civil servants to convey their views to ministers confidentially and to have that confidentiality respected. And unfortunately, what happened in the case of Sir Kim, who is a great public servant,
we know all that.
Is that his views were leaked, and that was a
we know
great
all
shame.
that. You mentioned Iran, and this again plays to your reputation for being careless, even cavalier with words. Maybe acceptable in a columnist, but perhaps not in high office. British citizen Nazine Zaghari Ratcliffe, currently incarcerated in Iran. She's found this out to her cost. Can you explain to us why, as Foreign Secretary, did you say she was teaching journalism in Iran?
I've already made clear that that was a mistake.
Why did you say it?
I already made clear that that was a mistake.
We know it was a mistake. Why did you say it?
I've repeated many times that she was on holiday. And if I may say, the responsibility for incarcerating Nazanin and others
is Iran. Well, nobody's arguing about that, though it's the one that you go off on all the time to try avoid answering the question. Why did she say...
I'm doing my best to answer your question.
Why did you
seem
say
rather
she
choleric,
was
Andrew, if I may say
teaching
so.
Journalism? I mean, it's a big difference from being on holiday and teaching journalism. Why did you say that?
Actually, that's not quite what I said.
Did you read your brief properly? Was this sloppy?
If you look at what I said at the limit what she was doing was teaching journalism. What I meant to say was, that was the most they could possibly accuse her of. As it happened, it was not even that was not true.
You made a bad situation worse.
Well, actually, there's no evidence for that. The reality is that she is being detained at the behest of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard.
The issue is not who's behind this. We know the Iranians are the bad guys.
People are going to, Andrew, people are going to want to blame me for absolutely everything.
We try to work out.
You're trying to blame me for...
No, I'm trying to work out if you made a bad situation even worse, because many things came out on Iranian state TV. They welcomed your remarks. It was an unintended confession. The issue is, did you master your brief? Were you sloppy? Did you not get on top of it? Because as Prime Minister, doing that could cost lives.
Well, as I say, I reject entirely the assertion that anything I said made things worse. And indeed, I think that any attempt by others to point the finger of blame at the UK government, at the UK foreign... Well, you are. If I may say,
I'm not doing that. I'm trying to work out if you made it worse. There's a volatile situation in the Gulf at the moment.
Correct.
It is a dangerous place. Our ships are under attack. The Royal Navy has had to be mobilized.
That's absolutely right. All the more reason to be firm with Iran, and not to inculpate ourselves and as it were to assume blame for situations where the Iranians are themselves.
No one's doing it. You go off again at a tangent to avoid answering the question. The issue is this.
I don't understand the thrust of your interrogation.
Loose lips cost ships.
Well, I think
and you have loose lips, Mr. Johnson.
When it comes to what's happening, to answer, if you're asking a serious question about what's happening in the Persian Gulf, clearly we need to make sure that UK shipping, British shipping, oil supplies can be properly.
I was asking about your ability
you mentioned you talked about something costing ships.
I was talking about your ability to handle the crisis.